Hey everyone, if you enjoy the content I put out here on the channel, please take a moment and subscribe, like, share, and comment. It really helps us out and helps me do what I do every day. Thank you guys so much. Today we're going to be doing a torture test on the Morakniv Companion. It's a very inexpensive survival knife made out of stainless, and I'm very interested to see how it holds up. This knife is 20 barking dollars, so it's not very much money. We're going to see how well it holds up with some of those tests we put. Sorry about the shakiness of the camera. It's kind of unstable ground we're on right now. I'm on top of this hill trying to film this for y'all. First test we're going to do, going to try to keep this as realistic as possible. Like you say you're hiking and or you're camping or whatever, you instead of putting your knife back in your sheath, you accidentally drop it on the ground. I'm gonna do this test like 3 or 4 times and see how that affects the blade. Stainless, this type of stainless especially, is probably gonna fold before it chips or dings, but we're gonna see. So test 1, stuck in the ground right there. Move it back just a little bit so you all can see. Test 2, test 3, test 4. So we got an interesting result there. I wiped some of the dirt off. So as you can see, the very tip top of the blade, hopefully it'll focus right here. The tip of the blade chipped off. So basically it's still fairly sharp to the touch, but it definitely, folded that blade edge in. I figured that was gonna happen. We're gonna move on to test number 2. All right, y'all, what we're trying to do with the second test, say you have to dig a hole for some reason, say you're trying to find water, or you're trying to dig a small hole on some semi-firm dirt to put your tent stakes down, but you don't have a shovel, all you have is this knife right here. So let's get to it. I'm gonna try to dig a little bit of a hole, see how it affects the blade. So honestly, this is some very dry, it's a very sandy mixture of dirt, not too much clay like we have back in Missouri. Right, dig that out a little bit. All right, let's take a look at. All right, y'all, so after the hole test, we dug a little bit of a hole. I'm feeling the edge. Surprisingly, the blade is keeping a very nice edge. It is a little bit dinged up. As you can see, stainless kind of shows the dings a little bit better on the edge. The blade hasn't folded over as bad as I thought it would have by now. Is it as sharp as it was when I came out here? 100% not, but it's still sharp enough you can get the job done with it. I'm very surprised so far. What I am seeing is a little bit of excessive folding right up here towards the tip of the blade. So that's very interesting to see. But overall, the blade's integrity is still holding up pretty well. Let's move on to test number 3. Y'all, so with test number 3 or 4, I forget exactly which one this is. I'll edit that in and see which test this is. But instead of doing the drop test on the dirt now, I'm going to do it on this rock face right here. Now, dropping your knife is never fun, but I'm just going to see how well this holds up. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's take. So that ended just about how I thought it would. It's very interesting. This is still holding up a lot better than some of the other knives in the price range. Stainless is very, very strong for the material. That's why you can get it so thin like that. Now, something that's I knew was going to happen, especially with the rock face. The tip on that blade is essentially gone. It's dull to the touch. I mean, I could put a lot of pressure on my finger. I'm not going to cut into it. As you can see, we're also starting to get some chipping on the blade edge right there. Overall, though, the basic integrity of the blade's still there, so let's ramp things up and try to break this blade. All right, y'all. So you see this rock face right here? What I'm going to do is basically bang the hell out of this knife and see if I can get it to break. All right, let's take a look. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the blade after that last test. Pretty extreme test. I mean, that's not really realistic. I mean, unless you want to bang your flippant knife on a rock. I'm just seeing what this knife can withstand. It's a $20 knife. I've been very impressed with how it's held up so far. I don't think other knives in the price range would do as well. The Swedes, they did a great job designing this knife. But let's take a look. So the edge on there is basically dull, let's just say that. A lot of folding. There is some deformation to the blade, as you can see. Some chips, not too bad. Around the upper and midsection of the edge right there. The tip, dull to the touch. So you definitely need to work on your edge if you want to get this thing back up and running. All right, let's move on. All right, y'all, we are on our last and final test. I have the knife right here in a little semi-vise. There's a nice crevice in the ground. Let me do that. Basically what I'm trying to do is mess up the structural integrity of the blade, try to, break the blade in two if that's possible. So I have this large rock here, and we're gonna start hitting it. Might have to move it a little bit. Other side. All right, let's see our result. All right, guys, the last test was pretty insane. I was hitting this blade pretty hard with that rock. The handle even got a little bit messed up down here, as you can see. Honestly, the handle held up nice though. It's made out of a good polymer. So let's see what happened. So as you can see, there's a good bit of surface damage here on both edges. This side, not so much as this side. The side with the Morakniv on it got kind of dinged up. The top of the knife here is kind of dinged up too. A lot of surface damage. Good thing about stainless that you don't have to worry about with other with this knife, but other knives you might have to that aren't stainless. If you ding the surface coating, you might have to worry about rust and some other types of steel or whatnot. But the good thing about stainless, it's resistant to all that. So it's definitely a good thing. Honestly though, it's probably salvageable. I think I'm going to try and use my sharpening hone and get this down to a nice edge, maybe even get us a new point on here. But honestly, this is salvageable. So I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed. For 20 bucks, you cannot beat this Morakniv. The Swedes did a great job with this. Definitely a great little knife for the bang for your buck, I guess. If you're just getting in the outdoors, I'd highly recommend this. I'm not sponsored by Morakniv in any sort of way, but I'm just thoroughly impressed with how their knives are holding up. This is just the companion model. If you guys would like to see any other models tested, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have fun.